Calling all singer-songwriters, your big break is here. Announcing the Project Aloft Star competition, hosted by Aloft Hotels. Now through September 30th, unsigned bands and artists are invited to enter and share original songs. Finalists will be flown to New York to work with Grammy-nominated mentor Gavin DeGraw and jumpstart their music career. Enter now at live@alofthotels.com. Again, enter Project Aloft Star, now at live@alofthotels.com. Don't miss out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the new Panic Room. It's the show other shows want to be, and the show that authors want to be on. Da!
Which is hardly anyone these days. What with the fake news and the crooked CIA? What? They killed Kennedy and King, sent us to war with Afghanistan, and now there's some great beacon of truth? I don't think so. And now what makes me really sick is it was all just for an oil slick. In the middle of the desert, it don't take no wizard to see right through the smoke and mirrors, plain as day as they pull their same old tricks. Speaking of conspiratorial plots and flicks, there's signs of Putin everywhere. He left his tracks, can't be more clear. Call me crazy, I don't care. Them Russians hacked my underwear, and I got proof. I'll show it to you. Looky here. Now first they poison our water supply with laxatives and cyanide, lead and arsenic and attention, brainwashing, mind control and fluoride. But I tell you what, they went too far. Gonna cross the line when they poison all my great nuts in the Ali's grocery store. There's signs of Putin everywhere. He left his tracks, can't be more clear. Call me crazy, I don't care. Back my underwear. Oh. They first in the pudding. Well, in this case today. No, actually, I guess both, as the big seeds plainly demonstrated. They crossed us in with pesticides, genetically modify our inside to make us all cyborg comrades in Capitol Hill, the new Stalingrad. Signs of Putin everywhere. He left his tracks, can't be more clear. Call me crazy, I don't care. The Russians hacked my underwear. There's signs of Putin everywhere. He left his tracks, can't be more clear. Call me crazy, I don't care. Right. There's signs of Putin everywhere. He left his tracks, can't be more clear. Call me crazy, I don't care. They're gonna kill me. There's signs of Putin everywhere. He left his tracks, can't be more clear.
The all-new Panic Room radio show is brought to you by hellboundbooks.com.
Well, good evening, listener. And it is, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. I think it's the Panic Room, so it must be Thursday. It must be 9:30 Central, and here we go again. So yeah, another hour and a half of shenanigans and jolliness, and hope you enjoyed. We a bit of a departure music-wise this week. We're delving into the awesome world of independent music, and that was the Russians Hacked My Underwear, which I think in today's climate was kind of fitting, I think, and that is by a great guy called Alan Postscript, who you can find on https://alanpostscript.bandcamp.com. If you didn't get that is on our website, which is, I don't know what our website address is. I have to. I know who does though. I know who knows it. Here she comes.
Hi.
It's the well-oiled machine herself, Xtina. How are you this evening?
I am. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little more scattered tonight than I am sometimes, which is just scary thinking about me more scattered, but I'm a little more scattered. Yeah, I know, so right? just
for our listener, what's the website then?
what's our website? Come on now, you should know that. It's
I should, but I don't. I can't.
It's isn't it hellboundbookspublishing.com, right?
No,
Isn't
not that
it,
one.
Right?
Radio.
Not that one.
PanicRoomRadio.com. That's the one.
Yes, www.panicroomradio.com. There we go.
No, repeating it after me doesn't make you sound clever. You know that.
No, I'm looking at it. I'm actually reading it. And it's also on our Facebook page, too. That might be easier. So it's on our Facebook page, too.
So, it's been a week. It has. It's still. I think it's still going on. It's been a week. I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one in the country. The minute I wake up, I grab my phone and check the news to see if we're at war yet. And a very sobering thought hit me the other day. It's not often I post, my little thought for the day on Facebook, but I did that. The way things are going, that I think the most depressing thing of all is that once whatever happens, that Donald Trump is going to go down in history as the last U.S. president.
That is very sad. Do you think
sad? Isn't that?
Yeah.
If you think of all the great men that have led this country over the years, over the centuries, and the last one, number 45, Donald fucking Trump. Really?
Just bastard.
Really?
Yeah.
And for all of you out there that actually voted for him, serves you right.
I swear I thought it was going to be a huge joke. I really, it was crazy. I was up that night just waiting, I remember. I still thought there was going to be some crazy thing at the end. I
fell asleep and I woke up at something like 3 a.m. I just grabbed my phone to check the news, and Hillary had lost, and I thought, geez, and I just know.
It was like surreal,
So
I
thought, we're big believers in right to reply on this show. So I think we should get we'll see what Mr. Trump has to say himself.
Grab him by the pussy.
You know what uranium is, right? It's a thing called nuclear weapons and other things. Like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things.
Okay, so here's one then for Trump trying to sound clever. What other things? And do feel free to phone in, Donald. What other things are made with uranium? Over to you. Without Googling it, enriched uranium is used for 2 things. Obviously, one is to make nuclear weapons, and the other is for nuclear power. That's about it, really. I don't think they can make jewelry out of it, perhaps. And speaking of grabbing things by the pussy, Hugh Hefner died. Hugh Hefner died. God bless him.
That.
He's one of those people. He's like Betty White. He's one of those people that they die and then she's not dead. They die and then I thought he died ages ago.
No, really?
I thought it's like Brian Dennehy. People say, Brian Dennehy, even though he's not dead, he's still going. Right. And they die and it's a surprise.
Yeah. What I thought was weird was, normally when a celebrity dies, Facebook is it's like everywhere you turn, somebody's talking. I mean, I remember this with Prince. He died, right? And, but all these other people that have died, you hear about it continually. And I've literally seen 2 posts about Hefner, and to me, that's crazy. I don't know. I thought he was more.
I think he sort of, people thought he was already dead, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it's kind of a bit of an anachronism. I think it's very well rooted in the 60s and the 70s, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, he had a good life, bless him. I mean, he was was it 91, and that's not bad. Surrounded by buxom beauties, so I think it's how we'd all want to go. Life. To tell you the truth. Well, maybe it's just me. Yeah. Maybe it's just me. That's how I want to go. But yeah, happy days. Happy. So I mean, for anybody who does care, how's your? And I'm going to kick myself for asking. How's the team getting along?
Not bad actually. He told the girl, how he felt about her, which I was like, go, Sean. I was so proud of him for that. And, he's been actually on, walking on like clouds this week. So, I mean, they're not dating and being all, crazy like that. But they are really, he doesn't feel like he's dying this week. So that's great. So,
no, I meant your baseball team. But no, that was great.
Oh, my God. Did you? I totally realized. Why didn't you stop me?
Because it was nice. It was kind of sweet. But let's bring in the baseball more.
Strike one.
I've two words to say to that. Shite! What's the other one? Shite!
Yeah, I feel really stupid now. I'm going to say I really do. And
good.
I thought you said my teen, so that's why I went with him.
It's the accent.
Okay. So my team, we are. I think we have like 3 more games to the end of the season, and we're definitely not making the playoffs. So that's very sad. And the funny thing is the last couple of games we played. Well, they have played because I'm actually not, with the Blue Jays, but they have kicked ass. Now, not that it matters anymore. It's too late in the season for it to matter. But so I guess now that the pressure is off, they can really play some good ball. So, but I'm just hoping for a better season next year. That's all I can do at this point. So, have you fallen asleep already? I didn't even talk for a minute. I don't think.
Sorry, you still talking? Sorry, I was doing something else. I've got a bit of grit under my fingernail that was poking out, so it's gone now. Thank you for that. Was great. So hey, I'm assuming we have a show for our listener this evening. What we got going on tonight?
We do have a show, and when you were rambling on there before you got me on, didn't you say you didn't know what show this was or something? It's like number 62. Can you believe that?
It is. 62. No, I'd forgotten completely what day. I spent all day yesterday thinking it was Thursday, so today's a bit of an odd one for me.
Yeah. That happens to me frequently.
Thursday today. Well, my whole route, obviously the kids went back and we've got soccer practice and band practice and gymnastics is a different night for India, and it's just like, I just don't know where I'm coming and going half the time, so you're lucky I'm here actually, because technically, brain-wise, tonight's Friday and I should be at the grocery store by now. But,
no, we do have a show tonight, though. We have Elka Ray. She's a psychological suspense writer, and I think that's really exciting.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and Ambrose, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ambrose Ibsen. I found him on Amazon, and then I stalked him on Facebook until he answered me back. So.
Wow, there you go. Ambrosia is the food of the gods. So. The problem is you can't do quizzes anymore, because I was going to, be clever and say, okay, if Ambrosia is the food of the gods, what is the drink of the gods? Because everybody just fucking Google it, so it just takes all the fun out of it. And the general knowledge is just not. But without good, do you know the answer? You don't, do you?
I don't. No.
You're going to look it up, aren't you? So, but that's people just. And we just got a whole bloody newsletter home from my boys' high school, going on about they're not allowed to have mobile devices with them when they're testing them. They've been back 2 weeks and they're testing on what? On what? You've been there 2 weeks. How much have you learned? Seriously? all they do is they just teach them how. They're just learning how to take tests. But if that's what it takes, I guess that's what it takes. But it's just they don't teach kids things anymore. You know what I mean?
No, they really don't.
Stuff. I think I said it was last year. He'd not done a chunk of homework on the World War II. On the Holocaust, actually, it was. And I said, well, why do you... I didn't know anything about it. Excuse me? I didn't know nothing about it. Well, you've got literally in your pocket the gateway to the entire sum of human knowledge, and you don't know... Seriously?
Yeah, and you can't be...
And it's just...
Yeah.
I could cry. I really could cry some days, but not today. It's a happy day. So we're doing the show, and I've been looking forward to it, and it's all jolly. So So hey, I'm intrigued. Actually. Hopefully this is Elka on the line. Let's see if it's Elka. Elka, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. I'm here.
Yay!
Yay.
You've been having some electrical issues, I understand.
It's been an absolute nightmare, actually.
Oh no! So why is your power out? Have you just not paid the bill, or what? Because we get cut off, we don't pay it, and they cut us off. Hate it when that happens.
Yeah, I live in Vietnam, so it just happens sometimes, and it happened this morning, which was completely random.
Huh.
So I've been running all over the neighborhood in search of power.
Oh no!
Oh.
So you
but
right,
I'm here.
Okay. Well, we better be well. Thank you for joining us. We better be quick with you before your cell phone battery runs out. Then, huh?
Thank you. I'm sure the line isn't fantastic, and I'm really sorry about that.
You are
fine.
The clearest sounding calls we've had. Seriously, you sound like you are sitting next to me, which is fantastic. There you go. Clearly, you're not with AT&T.
I'm definitely not. No, I'm in a very small village in central Vietnam, so these things do happen here.
So why are you over there? What takes you over there?
So I've been here a long time. I came to Vietnam as a student, and that was more than 20 years ago. And I was interested in Vietnamese history. Then I ended up getting a job and another job and a business and a husband and some kids, and I'm still here.
Excellent.
A husband and some kids, and I'm still here, and that's so cool.
That happens. I mean, I obviously I was happily in Yorkshire in England and met my wife, and ended up with a wife who was from here, and the kids thing happened, and I'm still not sure how that happens. Nobody's told me yet. I actually missed that lesson at middle school, so I'm not sure how babies are made, but we've got lots of them. All these babies sort of happen, and then we came over here, and I'm in Houston, so it's just a million miles from Yorkshire, but there you go. So hey, Elka, psychological suspense / noir. I'm intrigued. Please explain.
So noir is basically when the narrator is unreliable and maybe not completely a good person. And psychological suspense, it's, you're basically, as a writer, you're piling stress on your character. So you're putting them in a situation that gets more and more stressful. And things are absolutely going to hell as a reader, but you don't quite know how.
Oh, I do like the sound of that. So obviously your book, Saigon Dark, great tagline. What if being a good mother required you to be a bad person? Now there's a very, very loaded statement. So tell us more about the book, Elka.
So as the title suggests, it's set in Saigon, which is now Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. And it is about a Vietnamese-American woman named Lily. And she's a surgeon. She's recently separated from her husband, and she has 2 young children. And one of the children is sick. And one of the little kids dies tragically, and Lily is obviously traumatized and totally in shock. And she encounters a small child, a toddler in the street who's horrifically abused. And she makes the kind of split-second decision to rescue that child or to steal that child. And she passes that kid off as her own child who died. And, raises this child, raises her other child, rebuilds her life. She remarries, has another kid, and she thinks she's safe. She thinks she's gotten away with it. And then she starts to be blackmailed. And so the story is about her fighting against this unknown blackmailer and really struggling to keep herself and her family together.
Wow.
Wow. That you say piling stress on the character. That's a lot of stress right there. A hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so where was the inspiration? What inspired you? I mean, it's a great story. I mean, it's a simple premise, but incredibly complex. I mean, how did you come about with?
So, my first child died as a baby, and that was obviously a terrible experience, really traumatic. And for me, grief kind of made me feel crazy. It actually made me crazy. I would, go to the grocery store and see, diapers and burst into tears, and just, I couldn't control my emotions. So I became really interested in writing about a character who was feeling this grief but had to hide it. Because, what I discovered was the more you try to sort of control, but the more you try to pretend that you're fine, the worse you actually feel. So that's how I came up with the character of Lily, who really, she's grieving. She's lost her child, but she has to pretend everything's fine. And she has to spend her whole life living a lie and pretending that things are great. So, that's where the idea came from.
So did you, was it kind of writing the character and what she was going through, was it almost like a purging process for you as well? I mean, did you?
It was definitely difficult to write some of those scenes. There's some pretty dark scenes in there. And I mean, that was, my daughter's death was obviously nothing like her daughter's death, but it brings up some pretty dark feelings. But no, I think I was more interested in I had this idea, and the way the idea came to me was my son was born in Bangkok, and we needed a passport to get him home. And his passport photo was taken when he was 3 days old. And you guys have seen a newborn baby, they're just little squishy blobs, and they, you couldn't tell you couldn't tell his sex, you couldn't tell his race, you couldn't tell anything. And so I had this passport that was valid for 5 years, and I looked at it and I thought, I could use this for anyone. And that's how the idea of the story came about.
That's kind of creepy, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. They do. I mean, they might be British babies all look like Winston Churchill when they're born. You're right. I know. I think it's 5 years, isn't it? Instead of 10, you've got to renew them, because I guess it changed. But like you say, a 3-day-old baby looks a world apart from even 6 months old or a year. So I can see. Yeah. It's the sort of thing that you now you explain. This could actually have happened. This could. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it could have happened.
I like it. I'm gonna beg you for a free book in a bit. So you've been warned.
I definitely want to hear more. Do you have a reading for us, Elka?
I do. Hold on. I have the very beginning of the book that I will read for you.
Okay.
So here goes. Okay. So part 1, Ho Chi Minh City, April 9th, 2005. I'm woken by the sound of breaking glass, a woman's scream. It's the neighbors again. A boy? One of the older kids. Are you guys still with me? Hello?
Hello? Yeah, we're still here.
Hello?
I'm still here.
Oh, dear. Are
Hello?
you still here? Okay.
I'm still here.
Hi.
Yes. So we were
great.
we were listening. We had our listening heads on.
Okay, good.
And
The
I
line
had a
went
drink for a second.
very
Sorry.
quiet.
Yeah, no, Xtina was opening up the bottle of wine, so
I
apologies
was.
for her. But no, I'm just listening. Carry on. Carry on.
I'm woken by the sound of breaking glass. A woman screams. It's the neighbors again. A boy, one of the older kids, yells, and a younger child starts to sob. I roll over. If only it would stop. Their youngest is smaller than my daughter. Tired as I am, I know sleep's impossible. How can I sleep when the kids next door are being tortured? Without turning on the light, I walk to the window. A row of trees hides their shack from view. I can hear the dad yelling. I want to punch him. That I'm 5'1", it wouldn't help. Another bottle shatters. Even with the aircon full blast, I'm sweating. April in Saigon, the hot season. I press my forehead against the glass. My yard lies dark. The child's cries are louder now. I think of Evie. The man bellows. While my Vietnamese isn't perfect, I can understand this obscenity. He's calling his wife a fucking whore. I unlatch my window. Stop it, I yell. I'm going to call the police. I wish my voice sounded tougher without that waver in it. For a moment, there's silence, but then the guy yells back. Mind your own business, you foreign traitor slut. I lean back. While this insult shouldn't matter, it does for some reason. I left Vietnam at the age of 3 on an overloaded boat. I was lucky to end up in the States. Behind the trees, I can hear the woman sob. I slam my window shut. What am I doing here? For a moment, I think of calling Ving, but what good would that do? Why would he help us with this when he's made it clear he wants nothing to do with us? He's never even seen his own daughter. I sit on the bed, fighting the urge to cry. Should I call the police? Why would they even come? But then I remember my maid's warning. The family next door are squatters. Landless peasants come to Saigon from the countryside. The authorities would just evict them. Then where would they go? That small, thin woman with her thin, dark children and her alcoholic asshole of a husband. I make a fist, feeling angry and helpless. I've just gotten back into bed when my phone rings. My bedside clock glows 2:14. My heart rate picks up again. Is it about my mom or an emergency at the hospital? A ringing phone in the middle of the night is never good news, unless it's Ving calling to say sorry. I take a deep breath, absurdly hopeful. Hello? Lily? It's Ina, my best friend in Seattle. Just from the way she says my name, I know everything's fine. Ina, I say, it's 2 a.m. Oops, there's a pause. Sorry. She doesn't sound sorry at all. I guess I got the time difference wrong. I met Ina at the University of Washington, where we all went to med school. She and Ving were the stars of our class, the ones everyone wanted to be or jump in bed with. During the time Ving and I specialized as surgeons, Ina did an MBA at Stanford. She just got a new job, managing some investment funds. Is it something important? I try to keep the irritation out of my voice. Brilliant as she is, Ina is a ditz, and details like time differences mean nothing to her. Like my ex-husband, she barely needs sleep. What's up with you, she said. You sound upset, Lee. For a moment, I considered telling her about the guy next door, how he beats his wife and kids, how helpless I feel. But how would Ina understand? She lives in the kind of gated community where people call security if neighbors play loud music after 9 p.m. I can picture her now. Sharp black bob, size-nothing suit. Smart, successful, and beautiful. I'm just tired, I say. It's been a long week. I've been working double shifts. How's Evie? I fight back a sigh. I don't want to talk about Evie, especially not now. She's fine, I say. Look, I need to work early now, so I'd better get some sleep. The Evergreen Clinic is looking for a plastic surgeon. I told Harvey you might be interested. They have a lot of pediatric patients. I'm not interested, I say. But it's a great place to work, says Ina. Great neighborhood, not far from a good school. Ina, I say, I'm not ready to leave. Throughout our conversation, I've heard her tapping on a keyboard, multitasking. The tapping now stops. But why, she says. I can hear the mystification in her voice. Why, indeed. Although I was born in Saigon, I never felt any desire to return. I came because of Ving, who was raised in an orphanage in Beauvac, then got a full scholarship to study in Seattle. He wanted to go home, said he wanted to give back. Like a fool, I believed him. Lily? I realize I've been lost in thought, trying to work out why Ving changed. Or didn't he change? I rub my eyes. It's a waste of energy thinking about my ex, and it makes my stomach hurt. I take a deep breath. It's interesting work, I say, meaningful work. Kids without access to modern medicine, kids with facial tumors and cleft palates. I'm doing good things here, Ina. She sounds unmoved. Those problems exist here too. I know, I say, but I also know that the bulk of my work at the Evergreen Clinic would be cosmetic. I like it here. This comes out sounding lame, as it should, since the truth is, I don't like it here. The real reason I'm staying, which I can't even explain to myself, let alone Ina, is that being here helps distract me from my failed marriage. If I were back in the States and back in real life, I'd feel even more humiliated. Everyone I know knew Bing. They all loved him. How can I explain he was Jekyll and Hyde, the perfect husband back in the States, then AWOL in Saigon's sleazy bar scene? These thoughts are interrupted by a child's scream in the shack next door. My grip on the phone tightens.
Wow.
And that's the start.
That's unfair. No, you need to
I
keep going.
wasn't ready.
Right.
No, I'm not ready for you to be done yet.
That's awesome. Beautifully read as well. Beautifully read.
It was. It was.
Yeah. You could do your own voice book with that. That's good. Audio book. That's the word, isn't it? So no, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So obviously you
hopefully done with power.
Obviously you pull a lot from your time and experiences in Vietnam. Is that a big thing for you? I mean, is that your place of choice to set your work, or is it just that this story happened to be there?
This story, it really depended. It needed a place where you couldn't really go to the police, or there's not a lot of official help for, say, child abuse. So if you were back in, I don't know, I come from Canada, you would if the kids next door are being tortured, you would call child services. So
yeah.
It really had to be in a place where there were reasons why you couldn't do that. But, of course, I said a lot of fiction in Asia because that's where I live, and, that's what I know really well. And also, it's kind of a chaotic area with lots of changes, so that makes for really good moral dilemmas.
Awesome. I like that, yeah.
Yeah,
it's surprising, I guess, shocking to hear you say that. Is it really that lax over there?
Yes and no. Like, I think that in really bad authorities do their best. It's a developing country. I think Vietnam is a lot better at taking care of people than many other countries with the same socioeconomic status. But, the things are still developing here.
Oh, right. Interesting. No, you just assume everyone, it has the same sort of status, but, yeah. Yeah, scary place.
I don't think I prepared Elka beforehand, but, she seems like she'd definitely be okay with this. Would you do 11 questions with us? Or with me, actually, not James. He doesn't count.
Thank you. I feel special. I feel really special now. Thank you.
You should.
Sure, of course. I'll try.
We'll do the jingle.
Yeah.
I can do that.
And now, 11 questions.
No, the funny thing is I said that before I even, got out my question. So here we go. Okay, number 1. What's your guilty pleasure? Are you thinking really hard on it? I mean, is Elka?
Elka's guilty pleasure is not answering questions.
Maybe.
That would work.
Yeah, I think she's. I think she disappeared. So James, what's your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is SpongeBob SquarePants. It's funny actually. In India now can't do Indie Corner this week because she's in bed. India, she's sort of grown out of SpongeBob. She watches all the teen shows now. But every now and then I'll put SpongeBob on, and if it's a new one, the excitement is palpable. if it's a new SpongeBob I've not seen, I've only seen a couple of times. It's like I will stop what I'm doing and sit and watch it. No word of a lie.
You know,
there was one, I think it was it yesterday? A couple of days ago, anyway, and it was this new one, and it was like, right, I'm just forget it. I think I was on my way to the toilet or something. Just forget it. Feeding the dog, whatever. I'm going to watch this new SpongeBob, damn it. And it was great. They are fantastic.
I have never ever been a fan. I really haven't. My kids liked him an awful lot, and my daughter, who is almost 20, she still watches SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But no, I've never.
Well,
and when she was
the first SpongeBob, I think came out in 1999. And because of my oldest child is now 25. My youngest obviously is 8. So I've had a lot of years, pretty much been watching SpongeBob since 1999. But yeah, the thrill of a new SpongeBob SquarePants is just, there's nothing like it. So anyway, I think we have Elka back. Is that yourself, Elka? We lost
Say
you.
again?
Yeah,
I managed to call back. Yes.
So there's no escaping. Right, you're back with the questions. Go on, Xtina.
Yeah.
Okay. Make them fast.
Number one was, what's your guilty pleasure?
Cheetos.
Yeah, I love Cheetos. Do you like the crunchy ones or the puffs?
The crunchy. Definitely.
Definitely. All right. Baked beans, ranch style or pork and beans?
No pork.
Okay, so ranch style?
I like the regular kind on toast.
Yeah. Puppies or kittens?
Nice.
I don't know if you heard me. Puppies or kittens?
Nope.
Puppies.
Kittens.
Puppies.
No. I've been stuck with an army of stray cats here, so I'll be going with kittens.
I say, bearing in mind that Elka's in Vietnam, I mean, we're talking puppies and kittens for pets, not dinner. Okay?
Oh God, I can't believe you went there. Oh dear. Let's see. Well, what's your favorite lunch meat? And don't say puppies or kittens.
I stopped eating meat when I was 3, so the words lunch meat fill me with terror.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we'll skip that one then. Doesn't matter. What was your first car?
A 1964 VW Bug that was sparkly purple.
Ooh, that sounds
so
cool.
Right, yeah.
It was beautiful. My dad called it the purple coffin because I was such a bad driver. But it was beautiful.
Excellent.
That is a good story, though, yeah. What do you fear most, snakes or spiders?
Snakes, for sure.
Yeah. No, the spiders are creepy, but whatever.
Yeah, that was the wrong answer. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the wrong answer.
I have no problem.
You've been judged now.
Okay.
Freddy, Jason, or Pinhead?
None. The last horror movie I watched was this super low budget Canadian movie in the 1980s called My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, I remember that.
And yeah.
And
that was it for me.
I actually can't wait till next month. All the good scary movies are coming out.
Yeah. They remade that? That was the one where it was down in the mine, wasn't it? I think they did remake it, and it was it was much the same, but a bit more modern.
I didn't care for the remake that well. No, I didn't care for the remake that well.
To be fair, you can't really go wrong with them. It's just somebody chasing people and killing them. I think it was good. I remember seeing My Bloody Valentine years and years back in the 80s when it was out, and great film, a classic of our time.
Okay, let's see. First draft, handwritten or word processor?
On a laptop.
Definitely, yeah. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Rum.
Oh,
but
God, I got so sick of rum once.
That's why it has to be good rum.
I can't even smell. Like one time we had ice cream and it was rum raisin, and I can't even stand the smell of that. It's just so bad. Let's see. Moving right along.
Yeah, moving on.
One interesting non-writing related fact about you.
I am, despite my accent, I'm a British citizen.
Yay!
I was born in Bristol. Yes.
Really?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great city. Great city.
And you don't have an accent. I've been listening to you all night going, she sounds so cute and not anything like I thought she would. So not that I think you sound cute. That's kind of weird.
If she had a British accent, you would know.
Yeah, no, I have a Canadian accent. I have a West Coast accent.
Yeah, it's interesting. And here's our bonus question: baseball or stamp collection?
Neither. Neither. Totally neither.
On
they
the
do
fence.
nothing for me. Sorry.
They're both crap. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I guess I can't judge you too harshly on that one.
Well, I think we'll take that one as one for stamp collecting, I think.
No. I definitely think she was leaning more toward baseball there.
She hates baseball a little bit more. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey, now, she said, what she said, she was Canadian, and I'm a Toronto Blue Jays fan, so I think she'd be more on my side than the, boring stamp collecting, don't you?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, it looks like we're getting close to being done or out of time for our first segment, but can you tell us where we can find you online, Elka?
Yeah, I have a website at elkaray.com. That's ELKARAY.com. And I want to thank you so much for putting up with me despite all the power problems.
No, it's been our pleasure. You've been fantastic. When you've been there, I said that the sound quality is phenomenal. I'm just so impressed with that. So,
I know
it's been fantastic.
We've had people probably in the next state over that the calls dropped and it sounded like they were. I don't even know what it sounded like they were doing. So yeah, it is really, really clear. So that's awesome.
We had one guy who was moving furniture.
While
we were
interviewing
him, he was literally moving furniture, and I thought, seriously. Would you
I was thinking you could sit down for a couple of seconds. No, but we have all of Elka's links put up on our website, or not on our website, on our Facebook page. So if anybody wants to stalk her, they can go ahead and head over there and stalk away. And I presume,
Elka, I presume you're all over Amazon and whatnot?
Absolutely, yes.
Good.
Yeah, Saigon Dark, and then I also have a collection of short crime stories that are all set in Southeast Asia, and that's on Amazon too.
And what is the title of that?
It's called What You Don't Know, Tales of Obsession, Mystery, and Murder in Southeast Asia.
Ooh.
I saw that. Yes.
That sounds fun.
Wonderful.
That sounds fun. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I would definitely be stalking you more to have you come back on the show. So, well, actually, that was my way of asking you if you would come back on the show. I didn't do a good job of asking, so.
Well, thank you very much. I would love to. And, we couldn't have power issues twice in a row. That would just be too amazingly unlucky. So, yes.
Well, that sounds like a challenge. Let's see if we can.
To the universe, yes.
Let's see if we can do that.
Right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you both so much.
It's been fantastic. And, we will speak to you again very, very soon.
Thank you, Elka.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Elka.
Yeah,
have
goodbye.
a great evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that was fun. Despite the again, we once again we embrace the international flavour of the show.
I know. I was thinking last week how lucky I am. All these awesome authors that I speak to that are from literally around the world. It's so cool. I love my job.
It's great. Yeah, we literally, like you say, we're from all over. It's great that some people stay up until stupid o'clock just to come on the show. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So anywho, what's next? Yes, Commercials. Go for it.
Commercials. Okay.
Pressure's on.
Hellbound Books Publishing.
We need a
what?
jingle. We need a jingle for the commercials. So we'll have to do one. We'll do one. Not now.
Okay.
Obviously.
You made me swallow my gum for that.
Yep.
Okay, Hellbound Books Publishing is pleased to announce the arrival of another Taboo anthology, The Big Book of Bootleg Horror, Volume 2. Following close on the heels comes Depraved Desires, Volume 2, an anthology of dark erotica and erotic horror, compiled and edited by internationally best-selling author Bonnie Capps. And finally, horror author P. Mattern has summoned up a new anthology, Devils, Demons, and Denizens of Hell. Go to hellboundbookspublishing.com to purchase these anthologies and more. We at Hellbound Books are proud to announce our very own app on both Google Play and the App Store. In the mood for something steamy to read this fall, check out neurotica author Jennifer Lynn's website at jenniferlynnerotica.com. And you can find James at his website, www.jameslongmore.com. And don't forget to follow the Panic Room Radio Show on social media. Our Facebook page, Unofficial The Panic Room Radio Show. Twitter at Panic Room Radio. Our YouTube channel, The New Panic Room Radio Show. And come visit our website at panicroomradio.com. And I also wanted to say that I am in the last stages of putting together the dark poetry anthology that's coming out from Hellbound Books called Beautiful Tragedies. And I'm really, really, really excited about it. And the release date, I don't know, can I tell people the release date? Is that a secret? I don't know. No, I don't think it's anymore.
If you don't tell people about it, they're not going to buy it, are they?
Right. October 13th.
Might be worth mentioning. Friday
and
the 13th.
I'm really excited.
What a great launch date.
Yes, I think so too.
It's like
the cover's
it's
beautiful.
Planned that way.
I can't wait. I'm really excited about it. So that's where my head has been for the last week or so. Is totally in this. Yeah, and there's a release party. I think
totally in what? In a bottle? No.
No.
I love you. I love you. Right. Okay. It's time for. I really need a wee actually. So it's the Sweet Week time. We will be right back with Becky the Reviewer. I've not forgotten her this week.
Welcome back to part 2.
I'm back. Yeah, I really did need that, I have to say. That was and I can never pronounce it, the Cthulhu Candidate by Alan Postscript. I enjoyed that. A bit rocky, a bit more rocky. We had a bit of country to start. Can't wait to hear the last song. God knows what that's going to be. Nice bit of Sinatra, a bit of Sinatra. Do you like a bit of Sinatra? So, hey, Xtina.
Yeah, yes.
What? Sorry, did I interrupt? You're drinking. Just taking you were mid-slurp there.
Yeah,
so,
I was you were interrupting my drinking.
I'm sorry for show. He's getting in the way of your drinking now. It's really bad form, isn't it? That is bad form. Oh, you know, it has. It's been one of those. It's been one of those days. It's been one of those weeks. It's just, I don't know. It's just been,
It has been. It really has. But
it's difficult to explain. I think with everything that's going on, politically speaking, it's just almost feeling like we're some sort of limbo. I'm almost to the point where it's like, well, should I bother doing that? Because, the bombs could drop tomorrow, in which case I've wasted my time.
Yeah, don't say that, no.
Seriously, I put off having my hair cut for about 4 weeks. So
wow.
I'm not spending... No, I needed doing for 4 weeks. I'm not spending the money now because, it'll be a waste.
Oh, God.
I grew up in the sort of the 70s, the 80s, the Cold War years, where it wasn't that bad. Obviously there was this sort of rumbling sort of half threat from Russia, but this is just sort of real. I mean, they're lining up the hardware at each other, and although it has given us the word dotard, which is my favourite word of the week.
That's a good word.
Isn't it? And the best Trump could come up with is an Elton John reference. I mean, really. Because he's fired off some rockets. Oh, Rocket Man.
Oh, God. Yeah, this ruined that song for me because I really liked it too.
I like that song, yeah, and Kim there is managed to come up with a perfectly tuned in 14th century word reference that works on so many levels. So kudos to Mr. Kim and his haircut there. That's great. But I don't know. I think a lot of it could be Trump just trying to divert attention from A, him being crap, and B, him fancying his daughter.
Yeah, is that what you think?
So. That is my opinion, and I'm entitled to everybody's
I don't even know anymore. I have none when it comes to him. I'm just flabbergasted. That's a good word.
The scary thing is that whatever comes up next, nothing surprises us.
Yeah, there is that.
No,
how much worse can it get?
Yeah, I mean, they've unearthed the fact that his son had meetings with this Russian, not just any Russian, some guy with strong links to KGB, during the election years. And they think, I kind of expected that was going to happen. Seriously, my favourite was the footage of him addressing some bunch of, I think it's during the hurricane thing. And he's there saying, Melania, wishes she could be here with us today. And she was stood next to him.
Oh, my God.
If the guy is mentally ill or, suffering from dementia, then he really shouldn't have his finger on the button. He's not qualified. Somebody actually posted on Facebook today, to be president, you should have, it's like any job. It's like, I'm going to be a brain surgeon because I got voted to be a brain surgeon. Although I've never done it before, I have no training, no qualifications, but I want to be a brain surgeon. And it's exactly that. The guy is in an ultimate position of power with no qualifications, no diplomatic, political training or experience at all. And it's just, it's frightening. It's frightening. And anyhow, speaking of
frightening, is that what you're going to do?
Terrifying.
Hey. Looks like it's time to review something. Oh, no.
It's Becky the reviewer. How are you, Becky?
I'm okay. I'm terrified.
Yes,
I think that's what he said. Yeah.
You frighten me. You really do.
Oh, that's funny.
So, Becky, what do you have to review for us this evening?
Nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you for that. That's great. Well, what we could do, we could emulate all the other shows out there and just have 5 minutes of dead air.
Well, it's not like 5 minutes. It's more like 30 seconds of absolutely nothing, and then like an awkward. Are you there for like 3 or 4 minutes, and
then
that.
we've got 10 minutes left. Can somebody say something?
We can sing.
We can do that.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, we've done that.
Yeah.
Been there. That doesn't work either. I mean, you guys serenading me was a thing of beauty. It really was.
We should have practiced or something. But you know what? The bad thing is, as huge of a baseball fan as I am, I really did not know that song. I mean, I knew that "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." That's all I knew. And I had to. This is how bad this is. I pulled up the game or that song on YouTube just to listen to how the tune went. And I think I messed it up. Yeah, I was the bad, and I couldn't wait to get to the root that part, and we didn't even get that far before James was like dying. So we'll definitely have to practice and do it again someday.
No.
No.
Yeah, thank you, Becky. Voice of reason. Voice of reason. So, are you going to review something or not? I mean, it's up to you.
Sir.
It's your own time you're wasting.
Yes, sir. The book that I'm going to talk about tonight is called The Housemates. It's by Ian Robright. I always say his name wrong. I always want to say Ian, but he's from England, and it's Ian Robright.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm hounding him to come on the show. I don't know if he said yes or not yet.
Oh, he's awesome. His books are great. This book is the very first indie book I ever read. It hooked me. I read everything that he's ever written since then. This book is about a guy named Damien who gets a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be in a house with 11 other people that he does not know, and they have tasks they have to complete, and the last person wins $2 million.
Nice.
And so he's like, why the hell not, Yeah, well, he gets there and finds out that it's not exactly what he planned on it being. The landlord, as they call the guy that gives them the task, is very sadistic and not a nice person at all. They die horrible death, and this is this is extreme. And there's one scene in it that I don't think I will ever forget as long as I live. I'm not going to tell you about it, but it involves two women, and that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because you have to read
pretty cryptic.
Well, just you're a girl and think about one of the worst ways to die that you could think of, being a girl.
Oh, I know, watching baseball. That'd be the worst way to die.
Oh, shit. But you're not a girl.
I can think of nothing worse.
I don't think I've read enough extreme horror because my brain is just going, fire. Fire would suck. But, you're saying for a girl, so my mind is going there, and it's not pleasant.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not.
Did it make you want to cross your legs the whole time you were reading that part?
Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. I was like, whoo. Oh, yeah. So.
Yikes.
But yeah, no, it's really good. I highly recommend it. It's available on Amazon.com. And actually, I can honestly say that I've never read anything by him that I would not recommend.
Wow, that's really good. I'm still, and if you recommend him, I'm definitely going to have to read him because, and I was going to ask if we have a second here. You recommended Jeff Strand to me, and I cannot stop talking about his books. I really cannot.
Yes.
So, who else is in that category where it's I loved the humor in his book. In his books, I really I think is what is totally selling me, and that's what I want. I mean, I laugh out loud when I read his books, and I love that. And I don't.
Yeah, I do too. You need to try reading something that Adrian Baldwin wrote. He's from England, and he is England's Jeff Strand.
Oh, really? Nice. Okay.
Yes.
I will check him out.
And you know that's quite a compliment. So.
Yeah,
I love Jeff to death.
I do too.
Absolutely. You definitely need to read him.
I talk about him so much that there was one time I was talking to the boyfriend and he wasn't paying attention to me. And so I'm like, hey, you're not paying attention. He goes, yes, I am, blah, blah, blah. You're in love with Jeff Strand, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's not what I said.
No, the books, damn it, the books.
I know, right? I did think it was kind of funny, though. But I can't stop talking about him. And James got really, really quiet. So am I boring you, James? Or are you still there, or did you leave?
Well, he's mad because he's number one, remember?
Yeah.
James is number one.
Yes,
okay,
I
that's
am.
right. Yeah. That's it. It goes James and then everything else. Okay, I got it.
No,
I got it.
I was just happy having a break and letting you ladies chat, have a good old chin wag, which is fun. Fun. But, so yeah, the name of that book again was, Becky?
The Housemates.
By. Oh, it's like
Ian Robwright.
Come on, woman.
Ian Robwright. I can't.
Thank you.
Ian Robwright. I always want to say Ian Robwright. I had to think about it for a minute.
British. There we go.
Yes.
It's funny. I had my son, my own flesh and blood, correcting my Britishisms this afternoon. I was like, seriously.
Nice.
Well, he's just started taking French, and I basically imparted my some knowledge of French in about a minute and a half, actually. And it was actually the Yorkshire stroke French pronunciation of Quatre. So there you go.
You learned something new.
Yeah.
So he's going to teach us how to pronounce words now instead of fruit fly facts. Oh, no, I forgot it was radiator.
I was saying, people, we had a listener actually said, they missed the fruit fly facts, but I've run out of interesting ones. There's only so much interesting. I'm going to have to find something different to educate our listeners.
I might not have been paying attention anyway, so if you just recycled one of the old facts, I would have no idea. I'd be like, wow, really? So,
yeah, I know.
We know.
I
know, and I'm the one who gets bored here, so I have a very short. I said, what?
I don't even pay attention when I talk. I recycle the same stories.
Can we do something else now, please? I'm waning.
Listen, we have baseball, we have fruit flies, we have what else do we have? Radiator porn. There's another one from last week. We need
radiator porn corner, don't we? I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome. We need to write a collective radiator porn collection. I think that would be great.
I'm not putting that anthology together.
Well, the latest fad, which I think really does signal the end of civilization, is the whole sex doll thing. Sex robots.
Yeah.
And there's actually a brothel opened up. I forget where now. Probably Amsterdam, where you go and you for sort of $60 or whatever, you can go and hump a robot. Well, why?
Wow.
Why would it's the ultimate experience? No, it isn't. You know, having sex with a woman is got to be better than humping a fucking robot. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But
I have nothing.
as a guy, this will gross you out as a guy. There's a bit of controversy. A guy in Britain, he's I think he's a manufacturer, so he's plugging these things. And he was on a breakfast TV. This is true, and he had his sex robot. And he said he's like part of the family, and he sits and watches TV with his kids know it.
Whoa.
You know? Seriously.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, the kids
It kind of reminds me of the guy who was in love with his car, though. Didn't we talk about the guy who was like, doing his car?
His children. You know, it'd be like, you know, introducing your vibrator to your kids.
Oh God, yeah.
Seriously,
so
exactly the same. How do you introduce that to small children? This is Stephanie, and she's synthetic, and Daddy shags her. And now we're gonna watch Henry Danger and eat pizza, and it's like, seriously, the therapy those kids are going to need in later life is you know, it's just
it's really strange.
Really? Yeah. Hell in a handcart. That's what I say. Hell in a handcart. So that's what we need. Hell in a handcart corner, where each week something that tells us that the world is something other than Donald Trump that tells us that the world is
like that idea. I will get behind that one, Becky.
I'm going to make a note. I'm going to write that down. Actually, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's really good.
I will make us a meme.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll make the jingle. So, we have Ambrose Ibsen waiting in the wings, so we're going to say bye-bye to Becky.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, Becky. We'll see you next week.
Speak to you later. Bye. She's always happy. Oh, bless her. We love you, Becky. Right, okay, Ambrose should be on the line. Are you there? Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Yay.
how you doing, sir?
I think my call went through. I think I can hear you okay.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Fine, yeah.
Oddly enough, you're not coming through quite as clearly as the lady on a cell phone in central Vietnam, to be honest.
Isn't that weird? It's true, but it's very odd, yeah.
Yeah, she's in the middle of a blackout, no power, on a cell phone, and she honestly sounds like she's sat next to me. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Me
there
too.
you go. There you go. Scary stuff. So, Ambrose, how are you this evening, sir?
Oh, I'm pretty good. It's about 11:30 where I am p.m. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Toledo, Ohio. Not nearly so exotic, but.
I have no idea where. I don't know where that is in relation to me. I mean, it's all. You know, for me, there's Houston and there's everywhere else. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's up. I think it's up somewhere.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Well, to be fair, most things are up from you. I mean, the only thing down from Houston pretty much is the Gulf and Mexico. So that's about it. Not much more. So, Ambrose here to talk to us about his book Asylum, the Afterlife Investigations, Book 1. So, over to you, sir. Tell us a bit more about it.
Well, Asylum is, as you said, it's the first book in this trilogy I wrote, the Afterlife Investigations, which it deals with a college professor by the name of Stephen Barlow, who gets wrapped up with a couple of his students and essentially pulled into a decades-old supernatural plot. And this first book of mine sets a lot of ground for the remainder of the trilogy. But I think a lot of my regular readers have really enjoyed it. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on it, and it was a pleasure to write. It came out in June, I believe.
So now it's Asylum, and then we have Afterlife. Is it ghosts, or is it ghosts?
I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but the thing in it I guess the presence in it is sort of a ghost, but I mean, there are some kind of unanswered questions. I like to keep it vague, so it's
right.
It's certainly otherworldly.
You know, we have an asylum, and then if it is ghosts, those two things put together are probably the two things that creep me out the most when it comes to any kind of horror or something, but yet intrigue me the most. They really do. So just the asylum, I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. And so then you got the afterlife too. I want to hear more. Do you have a reading for us?
I do. I've got a few brief paragraphs here.
Okay.
It's from the start of this first book. And my college professor character, he goes into this radio station to meet with a late-night DJ who's getting mysterious phone calls that come from this asylum, which has been closed down for 30-odd years. And so I'll just read. I have to summon my author voice here. The first thing that registered on the other end of the line was a crying sound. It was faint, muffled, but undoubtedly feminine in character. The sniffling, gasping sobs were not so difficult to make out once you knew what to listen for, and the more I listened, the more I felt I could almost picture the woman on the other end. Young and hiding in some corner, covering her face, tremendously frightened. Another voice entered the equation. I had been so focused on the quiet sobbing that the utterance of proper words startled me. The voice that spoke was deep, commanding, and articulate. It had been one thing to hear Dave discuss the contents of the call secondhand, but to hear it personally in the quiet studio was something else completely. Tonight we're going to pull away the veil. No longer will we trust the limits of our mortal eyes. We're going to look further, deeper than our species was ever intended to look. And when we've done it, we're going to transcend our humanity, make contact with the fabled other side. Are you ready? The speech was firm, possessed of an inspired, if not maniacal energy, and it seemed to become louder with every passing moment, as though the speaker were getting closer and closer to the phone. It struck me almost as a snippet of sound taken from a film. If I closed my eyes, I could imagine the tall, dark figure of the man as he walked across an empty room towards the sobbing woman. I fancied I could almost hear the scraping of his shoes against the bare floors. That should have been the end of it, based on everything Dave had told me. And it was, except for a single parting phrase that chilled my blood and sent the receiver tumbling from my grasp not a moment later. My host had not alluded to this last bit, and so when the man on the phone continued to speak, I was quite surprised. "Can you hear them?" asked the man with the deep voice. It was closer than ever now. Clearer, too. It felt like he was standing right next to me, speaking directly into my ear. "Whoa," blurted Dave, sitting up. "What's the matter, Professor? Something wrong?" When I finally recovered the phone, white-knuckling it, there was only a dial tone blaring in the receiver. The call, or whatever it had been, was over now. And that's it.
You can't stop there. Are you stopping there?
Yeah.
That's not fair at all. That was really good, though.
Just getting started. That was kind of. I do like your reader voice as well. That was very good.
I know, and I have to say, I get so jealous every time when we have somebody that reads so awesomely, because I don't know how long ago it was now, like a month or so, we had a guest on that had an interactive reading, which I really should have taken the time to look at beforehand, because I butchered it so horribly.
Yes, you did actually. It was painful, but it was painful, but it was fun in a painful sort of way.
I was hoping that it, there was a charming quality that came across as well as the horribleness. Oh God, it was just bad.
I think if by charming you mean embarrassing, yeah, you nailed it. Absolutely.
I know. Someday when I go on a show and they ask me my embarrassing story, I think that may be one of them.
That is it right there, isn't it? That is it right there. So Ambrose, what supernatural? I mean, is it, what sort of drew you to that?
I've been interested in horror stories ever since I could read. When I was a kid in the early 90s, that was around the time that R.L. Stine put out his Goosebumps series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got hooked from an early age, and from the very start, that's all I ever wanted to do was write ghost stories. And I've dabbled in. What's that?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I've dabbled in some other genres too. I did a little romance, I did a little sci-fi, but horror has always just drawn me back.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just going to say when you mentioned R.L. Stine, while I liked him, I was a huge Christopher Pike fan. That's who I just. I had every single one of his books. I just thought he was just the greatest. And then what was it? The Fear Street. The Fear Street came out when I was. I think I was a teen or something. I don't remember, but I had some of those, and they were pretty good too. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I'm just feeling old now. Ambrose, when I was a kid in the 90s, I was middle-aged in the 90s. Thank you. But yeah, it's funny when I was a kid in the fucking 70s. Apart from the odd, I remember there was a book that I must have got it out back in middle school. Got it out. It's called Monsters, 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 and I need to find this book again. If anybody knows it, if it's still in print, somebody has a copy. And it was a book of short stories, but it's just about monsters and just scary things. And I must have read that book a dozen times. I just kept getting it out of the library. I think they thought I was a slow reader. He's got that book out again, and I read it and read it and read it and read it and read it. But they didn't have the things like horror for children.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then it was like the grown-up stuff. We grew up on Hammer horror films and sort of late night black and white movies and Twilight Zone, and then obviously it was into James Herbert, and then Stephen King came along in the late 70s, and we sort of missed out on. I mean, Goosebumps. I watched the movie Goosebumps they made recently, and it was awesome. Kids love it. Horror stuff for the kids. Kids love horror. Kids love to be scared. My daughter, she sat through it, absolutely loved it. They like to be scared, which is fantastic. My mother just didn't agree with it. If she found me with a horror book, she'd take it away from me.
Aww.
I know.
Yeah, it is. The kids do have it, I think, a lot easier these days. Everything. I remember when my daughter was a little younger. She's not that old now. I'm not that old, but anyway. She's like, I just can't find anything to interest me. I'm like, are you kidding me? They have every book imaginable now. I mean, it is true. When I was younger too, they were just starting to, have the scary books out for the younger, the teens and stuff. When I was too old, I mean, I was old enough then. I was, reading Stephen King and stuff, but there were times that I had wished for a scarier story when I was younger, but they just didn't have it as much, But nowadays they have everything. So if kids can't find something to read, they're not looking hard enough.
Exactly.
That was.
I mean, you look. Harry Potter. I think is sort of there's been a big resurgence in supernatural, and that's probably helped. It's got a lot more reading. Kids. My own. My son. I don't think has picked up a book ever. To be honest, not in a lot of years.
I know it's sad. It is. It's really sad.
It is. I mean, my greatest love as a kid was sitting with my nose in a book and just nothing like
for
a book
hours.
to drag you into another world. You can watch a movie for an hour and a half if you want, but a book will just take you into your own imagination, and there's nothing quite like it.
So when you're not writing right now, Ambrose, who do you like to read? Do you have any favorites?
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of favorites. I would say my all-time favorite is, and it's a generic answer, it's kind of a cop-out. My favorite is probably Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I
thought you were going to say Stephen King, so you...
This is actually kind of shameful. I've never read a Stephen King novel.
Really?
Wow.
Really, yeah. And I mean,
wow.
it isn't because I've never made a conscious effort to avoid them, but I've never actually picked one up and read it like the whole way through. But I'd say Lovecraft is my absolute favorite. I adore his prose. But then there's a Japanese writer by the name of Koji Suzuki who he wrote about a book that went on to it inspired the film The Ring.
Oh yeah.
And his writing is just phenomenal. I mean, I've only actually read the translations. I'm not fluent in Japanese, but it's just excellent storytelling.
That's a pretty scary movie right there. I remember that one. Huh. So, what is your favorite scary movie? We are getting close to Halloween here. Are we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. It's a month away.
We are too. It's still the whole month of October is Halloween month.
You'll be sending your Christmas cards out next, for goodness sake.
I guess because I'm a bit of a hipster. I don't know. I love name dropping, like the obscure stuff. It's actually a Japanese film. It's called Noroi, The Curse, and it's a mockumentary. It's like a found footage film. And it's really hard to summarize it without giving anything away. It's like 2.5 hours long, and I tell you, it feels like it's 10 minutes. It's just
really.
It's so brilliantly constructed. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Shudder, the horror movie streaming service.
No.
No,
I haven't heard of that.
It's like the Netflix of horror movies, and it's only like $5 a month. They actually brought it over to the States for the first time ever. Before that, I had to watch like fan translations on YouTube. So, but yeah, I would highly recommend that one. Otherwise, I'm a huge fan of, I guess, ghost movies. I'm not really into like slasher films, to be honest.
Right.
It's never done much for me. They have to have a supernatural aspect to be scary for me.
Yeah, well, see, that is funny because you're right. I mean, you get the jump scares when you have like those slasher films and everything, but there's something about demons and possessions and stuff like that that really just freak me out. I remember the first time watching A Haunting in Connecticut, and I don't know, for some reason that scared the crap out of me. It really did. God. They did a sequel. It was called A Haunting in Connecticut, but like it was like in Mississippi. It was somewhere else. It wasn't in Connecticut, and I didn't think it was very good at all. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but I didn't understand why it was a sequel. I just get it.
Yeah, I think wasn't it part of this whole Ed and Lorraine Warren sort of thing that was it not to do with them? But I remember seeing it, and it was a really, really creepy film. I mean, it was very.
It was.
Funny enough, one of the one that really got under my skin was the original Insidious. Again, it was very low budget. It had a couple of jump scares in it, but it was it just got under your skin, And it was, that was fantastic. That was a really good film.
I think they're actually out a fourth one of those.
There is another one coming out. I think it's a prequel. It's like Insidious 4 prequel, but it got a bit too big budget and they tried to be too clever with it, I think. But they were all right. But the first one I thought was fantastic.
Yeah,
the first one and second one really creeped me out pretty much. That one scene in the second one with that guy was like, he's got your baby, oh my gosh, that just creeped me out so bad. But it's easy to creep me out. So, before the show, I had asked Ambrose if he had an embarrassing story to share with us for our embarrassing story segment, and he said he did. And I get so excited when people actually, agree to share the embarrassing story because if I give them a choice, most of the time they pick the 11 questions, but I didn't give them a choice.
Shall we? Let's do the jingle. Let's get into this.
Hi, I'm Patty, and I'm Thelma. What is your most embarrassing story?
I love that.
It's awesome. Go on.
Well, this story, I had to think long and hard. I really had to dig into my past to find one that was worth sharing. Because I don't want to embarrass myself on air, right? But
nobody's listening. It's just us.
That is the whole point.
No, but I figured when I was in college, I was 21 years old, just a few months past 21, and some friends and I, we planned a big house party. We threw a big bash in his apartment, and we bought a lot of booze, a lot of booze. And before this, as broke college students, who just spent all of their money on alcohol, we decided to go to a local a Chinese buffet where, it was like $5 all you can eat, really nasty, greasy food. Well, I stuffed myself, like, big time. And a couple hours later, the party starts. People start pouring in. Must have been like 30 or 40 people there. That tiny apartment was definitely stuffed beyond capacity. I mean, if there had been a fire, we'd have all died. And so we start drinking, and drinking, and I noticed the strangest thing. I wasn't getting drunk. I'd had, 5, 6 beers and maybe a shot, and I just wasn't feeling it at all. And so, emboldened by this, I felt as though I'd become God himself, and I just, I started drinking, and I grabbed a bottle of vodka, and I just started drinking it straight.
Oh, God.
And suddenly, I guess that pile of Chinese food must have started to, digest, because suddenly all of the alcohol hit me like a cannonball. And I suddenly couldn't stand up straight. I could hardly think. So I plopped down in a chair, and I started, I felt like I was going to be sick. I wasn't really sure, but I didn't really have the wherewithal to walk to the bathroom. So I guess what they tell me is that I stood up, and I threw up all over the floor in front of these, 30 or 40 people. But it didn't end there. I guess I started staggering, and I guess for the visual, I'm kind of a big guy. I'm like 6'7", and
oh, wow.
and I fell, but I fell into this girl who was sitting right next to me. She was like a 5-foot exchange student from China, and I landed on her in such a way that I mashed her foot, and I nearly broke her toe. Like the next day, it was like black and blue. And it took like 3 or 4 guys to carry me out of that room, and they left me in a bed. And ever since, drinking just hasn't been much fun for me.
That's a
awesome.
Great story, though.
I like that. It can't be a good straight up drunk story. And I think safe to say we all have one of those.
Oh,
I have a few too many. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Which I think was interesting was that his embarrassing story and the embarrassing story that I told when I was the first guinea pig for your embarrassing story thing. They were both about vomit. So yay for the vomit.
Yeah, and ironically, mine are all about poop. So just
yeah. So that's 2 for the vomit, and we'll start keeping track next week.
We should do that. Yes.
We're about done with our show tonight, and both guests were so amazing. I thank you so much, Ambrose, for coming on. And will you promise to come back and see us?
Absolutely, anytime.
Yay!
And where can we find you?
I was just going to say that.
I'll beat you to it. Ha!
The best place, the hub of all things Ambrose Ibsen on the internet, is just ambroseibsen.com.
Okay.
It's got a link to all of my different social media accounts, lists, of my different books and audiobooks. It's all there.
Excellent.
Awesome. And, I do have all your links up on the Panic Room Facebook page, so if anybody wants to stalk him, they can go there and do it then. And, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we shall hopefully see you again. And you're going to have to read more for us next time. I enjoyed that.
Sure.
Okay, and we'll speak to you shortly.
Thanks.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, time's beaten us again.
It has.
I'm not sure how has that happened. It's just Yeah. It's 1 minute was starting, and now it's time to say goodnight, Xtina. So
good night,
off you go.
Xtina.
Good night.
Shoppers, did you know that by exploring unique merchandise at Goodwill, you help others succeed? That by unearthing treasures at Goodwill, you help us to preserve our planet. And by scoring savvy bargains, you help others achieve. When you shop at Goodwill, you support our mission of changing lives through education, training, and employment. And you keep tens of millions of pounds of useful items out of landfills. We call it style with a purpose. Visit giveit2, Goodwill.org/style for details. Shoppers, did you know that by exploring unique merchandise at Goodwill, you help others succeed? That by unearthing treasures at Goodwill, you help us to preserve our planet. And by scoring savvy bargains, you help others achieve. When you shop at Goodwill, you support our mission of changing lives through education, training, and employment. And you keep tens of millions of pounds of useful items out of landfills. We call it style with a purpose. Visit giveit2, Goodwill.org/style for details.